Hello, and welcome back to 100 Days of Game Development. This is day number 27, and the goal for today is going to be to fix some of the bugs that I've been encountering for the last couple of days. And I think the first one that I'm going to start off with is fixing the you win, making it so that you can't actually win or transition to the you win menu until you're actually on the last level. Because right now, when I go and play the game, and while I've been doing a couple of play tests on my game, there's been a hindrance for me to, I would unintentionally win the game when the players touch when I was trying to test a different mechanic. And I do want to have like a speedy prototype process, so I want to fix that. Like I go to the level selection, I'm like, which player am I? I forget, am I on the left or am I on the right? And then I accidentally move to the next level, and that's not supposed to happen. So I'm gonna do a little bit of magic, or not magic. I'm gonna add some logic to when the players are touching each other to determine whether or not we should be moving on to the next level, or if we're in a menu state. And I'm gonna start that off by adding another boolean to the global events that says, oh, rather I can just check the current level to be, if I'm being honest, if I just check that I'm on a level that's above 0, then I should be able to transition to the next level. And I can do some of that logic. I think the best place to put that logic would be in the world when I'm actually transitioning levels. But now I want to put it somewhere like over here that says, hey, or yeah, hey, if your level is below, this might be easier than I thought. If I put it right here that says, hey, you can't transition out of this. I still want to be able to go to any level I want with this function. So if I put it here, like right below this in this else statement, then I'm going to be like an else return, and like don't allow the person to go to the next level if they want to. Then I kind of break being able to go to my menus. So the next best place to put it would be over in the grid here, and I would just add another function to check if I'm in a menu or not, or putting functions in the right place. So I feel like it's actually more appropriate to have that sort of function over here, and then it return a boolean. So is on level. So if the players are on a level, I'll return a boolean. So I'll return at the current level. Me thinking I'm in C++, I forgot to add the colons. There we go. And I'm adding semicolons. So return, and this is just going to be a one-line function, like if the current level is more than 0, more than or equal to 0 is on level, on leve. See, you've made a I've misspelled. Yeah, if the current level, or if the current level is less than 0, or is less than or equal to 0, then it's going to return true. Otherwise, it'll return false. There. Currently on a level, comma, not a menu, or no, No, I'll make a note instead. Because later I'll have to make a note anyway. Note, all menus are negative values. There. So in the grid, when I'm checking if I'm the player, I can also check if the player's in a menu. Or the player's not in the menu. Say if the player is not winning, swap to the next level and go to the next level. I'm thinking I want an early out, and I don't know if I should do it after I check if the player is the winner or before I check if they are the winner. Well, to think about it, the player will only win the game if they are on the last level and they have completed it by touching each other. So honestly, it could go before. It's a check that could go before if global events dot is on level. And then do all of this. If you're on a level, then check if you've won. There. I guess I say I'm no longer emitting the signal you win. So I'm actually not sure how I transition over to that level anymore, and I'll have to figure that out. Okay. But let's check that. So now it still transitions to the next level here. But what if I go over to the level select? Nothing. So now that performs as how I want it. And if I'm in the pause menu, you can no longer win. Ooh. That's new. Ah. I know, I'm gonna write that down. So I'm not saving all the properties that I should be with every tile, if like for every top property a tile can have. So all of the tiles reset after pausing because I'm only saving the minimum amount of information needed for a general set of tiles. But oh, and I got a debugger thing. That's probably because I'm levels undeclared but not using this block. Okay. You're right. Let me be a better programmer and remove that since I'm no longer using that. Let's go ahead and restart. I can go and generally test everything. Pause menu. Pause menu still. But if I go here now, and I go over here, and pause, like, it looks like it works. It looks like everything works. I can go to level 2. But if I go to the main menu, they still collide with each other and they start progressing to the next level. So that lets me know that when you are on the main menu level, you're actually you're at level 0. It means this is on level is not returning everything I wanted to. So F12. See, let me check if F12 works. It doesn't. And I can't, I just have to know where this function's at. Or, ooh, control click. There we go. The current level is less than or equal to 0. I thought the menu, say the menus are 0. What if I put 1 here? That's that's not logically right either. It's oh yeah, so current level is 0, less than or equal to 0, return true is on level. That's me doing it wrong. It should be less than 0. So 0 is not less than 0. So return false. I think I could have done the logic the other way also, where I checked each level was more than 0, and 0 is not more than 0. Either way would have worked. So let me check it this way. There we go. Now they don't touch each other. They don't do it here, and they don't do it here. These are the 3 menus for right now. So I can mark that off of the list. Cool. Bug fixed. I think it'll be fairly quick to save the rest of the properties for each tile, because it would pretty much be a mirror of what I have here in this create level from JSON. I think. Data, tile level, storyline. Oh, okay. I'm having each tile save its own data, which is perfect. So that works for the players, and I need to make sure that it works for things like the crate. Or I kind of just go through all these tiles. I'll go through the base tiles first, which there are 2 base tiles for right now. We have the pawn, who's saving the name, the path, the type. See, I could actually do all of the saving right here as long as I checked that each pawn had that type of property. That wouldn't be much of a stretch, and I think that's really, other than the player having the player other than the player having its own unique. I think it actually might be better if I just have unique tiles have their own save function that overwrites this one, which is an example of what the player's doing. They have their own unique. And we go all the way down to the bottom. They're saying the name, path, the type. The only additional thing is the ID. What? Yeah, really, the ID and the color. I think I may give each tile that color preset on a later date, or honestly, it wouldn't be hard just to do it like this. Color, and the color comes from, the color actually comes from the modulate, or rather, I'm transferring it over. It's actually a word. And since not everything has a color just yet, I'm going to save that for each individual tile that wants to be able to color itself. But this is definitely what I need for the base tiles. The base button. I'm going to copy this whole function and just add a few parameters to it. Yep, so base buttons have some additional, they have like a font size and a button color. That's the color. Control V. There. Storing all, this is all button data in a dictionary. This is a button. By default, all pawns save their name. By default, all buttons. Yep, all these things, pond, tile type. Now I got more things. Some comma. their font size and color. Oh, and probably say in the name, this name is not this name is not the normal name. This name goes by another parameter, I believe, and I can check that in my JSON. Uh, one of the things that I worked on quite extensively after I was done with, so yeah, after I was done with doing my development for the time, I started writing more documentation for my JSON files, just in case someone else wanted to make a JSON file. I kind of probably went overboard on that, to be honest. Name. So level. Level is actually the number that this is, and that's something I want to save. But I had to be tricky about how I save it. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I'm just appending that level number to the end of a string called level. When I go and look inside of, it's probably right here. Rockoban name. The text name is the name. So yep, I have to go even back further because that's not descriptive information, but down here is level instance.level equals level JSON tile.level. Is it like a level base button that I made? Oh no. Let me go back to the base button. Base buttons don't have a level attached to them. So actually, I'm going to keep this. Well, I don't have to use it here. This can be done in my level tiles. My level tiles need a unique save function. So I'll grab this instead out of here and put it in my level tile, which I have yet to document. Which would make it a great time to go and document this. Stores all level button data specifically. Let's be specific here. And that needs things like the button color, font size, the level. I just need that level variable up here and the type. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I get everything for that. Note, by default, all buttons will save their name, their scene path, position, tile, font size, color, and the level they load. The number. And the number of the level. Not all pawns have the same info. You're correct. Or I'm correct. So let's go ahead and grab the level and save that back in as a parameter. It's called level. Let's go ahead and get the font size. Make sure I spell that right. And this named is font size, like that. Let's make sure that I'm not missing anything. Button color, which I think I just called color. And I'm going to check the JSON file because I load them successfully to make sure that I'm not missing any other information from them. I think I did this level tile. Okay, all of these are level tiles. Color, level, color, font size, and then that's it. Everything else is the same as the the base button. So yeah, with that function, I should be able to save their data. Since I'm going to call it instantly, I'm going to make sure that that works. And to do that, I just have to pause and continue playing the game after being in the level select. Ah, the color. They still work functionally, it's just they lost their color. Interesting. It seems like only when I pause and continue that they lose their color. Am I saving the color correctly? I can actually go and check that save data. It's intermediate data that I'm not deleting just yet. Which I'll make a note of. For safety reasons, delete. Lots of notes to myself. C#. Let's check the chat. Close that back out. It's going to be in the resources. I have the save data JSON. Oh, flashed before my eyes. So white. When I hit Control-Shift-I, it formats it. And then they're all white. All under white, 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 white. Oh, player 1 and player 2 are orange. So why are they being saved as white? And that's interesting. Well, don't say. Yeah. Is it because is it because they're still default white and I'm just modulating that color? That may be the case. But I can check while the game is running what that value is. Pause, go to the level select. Now that we're here, let's go and open up this remote tab. Go to the grid. See all these cool level tiles. Pick one at random. And yet the color is still white by default. That means I'm not actually, when I load the levels, I'm not saving it to that property. So I'm going to make sure that I'm doing that here. If you have color, I just modulate, but I also need to save it for later. So instance, if you have a color, let's say instance.level or button color equals the same thing, or yeah, I just want the name. Control C, Control V. There. This is bad programming practice. I'm using two different variables, and they're basically doing the same thing. I could have, in hindsight, just used the modulate and converted it from the modulated value of vector 3, I believe, or a color. It's a color object, and from the color name. But alas, definitely something that's not going to slow down the game. Oh. Stop. And a lot of this is getting to me also, where I'm having to check if certain values exist. And it's confusing, you know, like now I don't really know where button color invalid get index on button color. Can I do index.has or instance.has? Does that work? Is this legal? I don't know. I don't know if this function is actually legal, but I'm gonna check it. I know it works for functions, but I don't know if it works for properties. Yeah, non-existent function. So maybe I'll check your properties. This is JavaScript, very much JavaScript style programming, but in Godot. That is a way to work around it. I suppose it's not exactly what you want to do, but you could do this. I could check if the variable exists. So using the .get method instead of has. And we're back. So when what is this? Base button, button color. Because the button color is null. I just want to set the string. Let me set the string, please. Or button color is a string. Let's do it this way. I didn't need to convert it to a color in. It's a string. So we're back in level select. I pause and then they go to continue and they come back just how I want. But I'll definitely make note of that. That code was done poorly on my part, and I should refactor it. Pawn / base button / level button color. I can just use modulate. Color name. I don't need to actually store the I remember why I was storing the color in the first place, that's for sure. But I think everything, if that's the case, should have a color name associated with it. Because you can't if I want to use strings for the colors, it's hard. Is it hard? If it's I'm thinking if I load, I can just load the if I want to load in the color, I can load it in just like this. And if I want to save the color, I just save the string and we just modulate everything. So I can, but it's how am I saving? I can't, if I don't, there we go. I cannot convert from the color object to a color name object, which is the difficulty, because there's only certain preset color name objects. There's about 100 or so of them, 130 of them, but it can't account for if I decide to modulate outside of that range. So like, for example, let me pull up this right here, find two colors that are about the same. Aqua and aquamarine. These colors have certain hex values or certain float values associated with them for red, blue, green, and their alpha. And same thing for aquamarine, even if it's only slightly off. The color name only knows about these values right here, and it doesn't know about anything that's in between these two colors. Like if I had, in this one looks like I have a little bit more green, and then this one, then the aqua has a little bit more green, or a combination of green and red in the aquamarine. But it doesn't know what color it is in between those two values. I could though write a function. I could write a function to determine between that. I think that'd be like a little nice side project. That doesn't. I don't think that would take much logic other than to just keep incrementing until it reaches the next color name. Honestly, or maybe it would. I have 3 separate variables, or red, blue, and green. Those are the ones that are changing. The alpha stays the same the whole time, but it needs to like continue. It needs to search and find the nearest color value, and that one will be the one that it automatically goes to. Yeah, anyway, that I think that'd be a nice. I mean, it'd be. I say when it would not be trivial. I believe I'm using that word right, or would be trivial. It would be also a medium size thing for the kind of logic that I'm able to figure out just in my head with color values, but it would probably be like a beginner first time thing if I wanted to contribute to the Godot engine. Yeah. I'm gonna write that down. Maybe I want to. Maybe that'll be my first project when I want to contribute to the Godot engine, because I've been meaning to, and I do know C++, so I do know how to go in and make changes to the source code for the engine. I just haven't broken that barrier of downloading all the source code and kind of reading through it to figure out. I've been, I guess, waiting for a task like this that I would think I could solve by myself and implement, but yeah. Get a lot of notes for myself today. Okay, back to what we were doing. Yeah, I fixed. I didn't fix the UI menu, but I definitely got another bug right off the list. Make sure refactor push button. Those are extra notes. This is my real goal. I write down what I'm supposed to do right before every session that I do, just to remind myself of the goals that I want to accomplish. Otherwise, I get sidetracked very heavily. Like now, when I was writing about contributing to the engine instead of actually making contributions to my own game. Just so exciting. I love doing coding and solving problems. I love that style of thinking. Okay. Hey, one step closer. Okay, yeah, one of the other things I need to solve is this right here. I can only hit one portion of that level. Annoying. And I thought that I made it grow both in here and in the base button. But apparently that's not working for making it grow. I think I do have a print grid function that I can turn on or off. Or maybe it is already turned on or off. Let me go to the player. If I have a player, let's check any prints. A capital P. Maybe that matters. Yeah, there's a couple. Print, 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 print. Okay, no. But I can make a special key for which I do not care which ID I'm using. I can just say if event dot is action pressed I wonder how well that works with just regular characters. Get parent dot print. I don't think it works that way, but and now I'll do G for grid. And it's just called print. Okay. Let's see if it'll print the grid. Or if it'll break. Or do nothing. Oh gosh. Request for non-existent input map action G. You right? Hey. But I do have some that I can probably just go set it up, honestly. Or use one of the ones that I already have, like select, or the ones that tab, shift tab, right up. I think I'll make my own subsection of debugging tools. Debug map debug grid. There we go. And debug the grid, it takes in two keys, G and C. My bad. Shift and G. There you go. Shift G debugs the grid. Okay. And let's go back to the player. Yeah, so anytime I need to debug the grid, I'll just press Shift G. And I won't even do it here. It doesn't even need to be done here. It can be done in the grid. Super happy about that. Under its process. Oh, it had UI accept. Hey, now I'm going to change it to debug grid, which I now know is Shift G. I'm going to go over to the level select and hit that Shift G. Was it too much? It wasn't. Okay. Tile 11. I print the type of the tile. Okay, it didn't break. Let's see if I can also print the name. It's not a wall. Print get cell V X and Y. I'm gonna also print the name of that. The name of that tile. That would probably be the best too. It might be slow as heck. That's for sure. Because I'm gonna be iterating through all of this. Get pawn. And I pass it in. The X and the Y. Dot name. All to get the name. Close it up. Yeah, and this can just be this stuff right here. Get pawn, grip position. Okay, yep. And it expects a vector 2. There. Shift G for the win. Let's see what I get. Broken. Name? Invalid. Get index on name. Come on. Output. Did it output any? Player 1, and then it like broke like crazy. That stinks. Why did it break? There, new line. Yeah, that kind of stinks. Why did it break? I was doing so good. Broken. Invalid get name on base index nil. Maybe I'm trying to get more things than I should. I feel like that's what's it. At this dude. Look at this. Print. And I don't need this add symbol anymore. So I'm gonna check if the pawn exists. Whoa. This is gonna be so slow. I mean, it's still blazing fast because but woof. I'm getting there. Yeah, if it returns something, let me print it out. Here, like here for instance. There. Player 1, I got a start tile, and I got player 2. Let's go to this level right here. Control G. There we go. Or another print statement. Print debug grid stat. Grid status. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I know when to stop. You're gonna look something like boom. Let's check it again. Control G. There. Player 1, crate 1. Alright. I'm pretty confident in that. Let's go to the level select. Shift G. Again, more information. There. Grid status. Level 1 tile at 3-2. but it didn't put it anywhere else. So I guess I shouldn't really have been doing this, but still fun. I should be looking at where I load the levels, or I instance the levels, that's for sure. I instance them in the crate level, and the first thing that gets called so yeah, let me just go back over there, and I can, and it goes child up. Oh, level tile. So the base button, which has an open tile. Okay, maybe I need to change, let's say, the base buttons type, or changing the base buttons type doesn't matter. If I go over here, I can also see that this one has a type of open also. They both have open when they shouldn't, when they should not have open. Level 12. And it really feels like I'm like after the fact that they're getting their types changed. So maybe where I call to actually instance this. No. Nope. Because I'm setting the type right here. And the players, they get theirs. And when I'm here, the players, they get theirs normally. When I go to player and I go just to select the player, you have your type of -2. Maybe it's somewhere, I feel like it's somewhere the logic in my base button or in yeah, either in the base button or in the, I'm gonna guess it's just in the base button, honestly, and I should be setting the type here, even though I feel like I was. It's being set to open. It's saying that, like, this is what happens, the ready is what happens before that pawn actually is being instanced into the world. And I go ahead and I set the type to -2. Let's see, maybe I don't need to be doing these functions right here. Control KC. There. Base button, and in the level button, level tile, I don't need to be setting this. Or I had to be doing it for at least one of them somewhere, because the pawn itself doesn't grow automatically like that. So it's definitely kind of weird to see that the type, well, let's say the type should be passed through all of them. I'm gonna get rid of those and see if they get loaded with their initial type from before. So over here, let's go to the remote, load up the grid, check the level tile. Now it has a type of 11. Was I checking? Pawn GD type 11. But the script variables, this type still shows open, and it should be level. I'm disconnecting somewhere, that's for sure. I say, where's my disconnect? Level tile. Because none of these have, see, the level tile doesn't have a type variable, and neither does the base button. Pawn from Pawn GD, and level tiles also coming from Pawn GD. Is it because that I did it that way? It may be the way that I ordered these scripts, to be honest. What actually needs to happen? I don't need this base. I need the base button, or my level button, to inherit from this base button, and I did not do that. I'm gonna open up my scene for them so I can work on getting that correct. Well, I have 3 minutes, so it's the weekend, so I think I'm actually going to work a little bit longer on this, just as a reward for making it to the weekend from doing this all week. Yeah, I just have something interesting happening, and I want to see it fixed. Base button, level tile.
It's so creepy.
So really what I think needs to happen is this texture and this label need to be actual variables inside of this, with all of their things hard-coded, instead of doing it this way, because I don't have access to those things, and I'm grabbing the wrong information from my pawn. Or I'm doing some weird stuff, and I definitely want to change it. I have the level tile inheriting from pawn GD and instancing a button and like setting the type and whatnot. Instance.type equals type. That may be where things are going wrong also. Or that's because I'm extending pawn GD when I should be extending the base button GD. So I'm gonna break all this really quick. I think I should still load the base button as a child. Nah, I'm gonna inherit from the base button, and I'm gonna have it preload all these things. Base button, yep. Font size does already exist, so I can get rid of that. It exists. Button color already exists too. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, for me this feels a little bit unexplored, but basically what I want to happen now is that the level tile just inherits everything from the base button and then adds on its own things, the level. It doesn't need to do this right here. It doesn't need to load a button, scene. So it doesn't need to instance one as a child. Instead, what needs to happen? Because I'm doing inheritance. That's really what happens here. That's really what's happening here. In the script for the base button is where I need to instance this texture and this label as a child and connect them together, so that I can get rid of the base button scene altogether. It shouldn't have a scene, to be honest. It should be a pure abstract class, or a class that should never be instanced, and only inherited by other ones. So I'm gonna asset art UA gray button. I'm gonna get that working right now. by doing all the things that I need to do. I remember in the script, I'm gonna do all of this and this stuff of loading the texture, making sure it's the right scale and in the right position, making sure it has the right texture. I'm setting the label up. I'm gonna do that all from code. Or do I? Or do I just port those same things over over to the level tile? I think I'm gonna port them over actually. I think, yeah, I'm just gonna port them over. Like yep, and that should be pretty easy. Yeah, let me go ahead and delete that. Yep, delete that and all the nodes with it. Base button. There. Just to get rid of this base button scene, all I need is the script. Yeah. Yep, go ahead and get rid of that. There, not saying sorry. Don't save. Get rid of it. Boom. Not sorry. I swear, I'm not sorry. I got confused with how I wanted to implement it, or I implemented it in a very let's see, not good way. What word do I want to use? Great button 2. Get it up there. Let me go ahead and zoom in too. There. There. Texture. Let's go ahead and place it in the right place. 0. Let's go ahead and scale it the right way. Boom. Let's go ahead and give it a label. There, full screen that label. Boom. There, it's all white and has the wrong colors. Let's go ahead and fix that. Font color in the font. Use a dynamic font. Yes. I think yeah, I already have the font size in the base button, because all buttons will have some form of text or texture or whatever. All I need to do for this one is give it the right text. So definitely can vector the future. Go in here. I gotta open it up first. Boom. And then make sure it's centered. No auto wrap. Center. Yeah. Boom. That's what a default level tile looks like. Inheriting from base button. It just takes in this level. Oh, things I can do. Since now that the base button has that font data, this has the font data also. I can say that the label needs to inherit that font data. Label.text equals level plus string level. That still needs to happen correctly. And I'll put a space. Oh yeah, I have to access that data. I can't remember exactly how I was doing that, but I can Control Z it, because this was easy to do. Control Z. How far back? And then I'll Control Y it all back. Nope. Nope. Controls Y it all back. That was a lie. I probably did it inside of the base button. Is it still there? This right here. Oh, and I have this color name. Okay. The color can stay, the color name can stay, the font size gets moved off. The name becomes that text name. So I have a name. Okay. I don't need to do the name anymore. Or I should be. I was like, this is where I started doing confusing stuff. Button color can be done in the button color for modulate. I'll move that out. Or no, this can stay actually, because this can apply to any button. The name can apply to any button also, but I named it level specifically for buttons that had a level. But you don't have that anymore. So text name, and then yep, I'm gonna need that too. Or let me go before I copy that. I think I feel like I just copied something else. Let me go to that level button, level tile, wherever it's at. So you can get name. You don't need to do this anymore. Yep, I can get the font size and set that up in the last one, because that's specifically for this button. I can center that label, but the modulate can stay right here. Level tile. There we go. Control V. There. Let's see all the things that I broke. Let's see all the things that I broke. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully everything works just fine. But we're gonna find out real quick. Oh, okay, that lost its name. And these lost all their names. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay, am I just no longer setting that? It's like I'm no longer setting the name anymore. Text equals name. I'm setting the name in the JSON. Hopefully. I'm not. If they have a level, I set the level number. But the name needs to stay. Am I ever setting this anymore? Yeah, that's my question. Do I don't think I call these the right way. I think I actually got rid of that that logic. So not here, but let's go to level 2. I have a thing called a level. So yeah, the base buttons, I guess, hey, I'll give them a, let's see, I guess the level tiles have a basic name. But I need to set the text for my level tiles. Or, I want to check that quest tile, honestly. Like, I don't think I really gave it any descriptive information on, like, what to actually call that. And I didn't. Quests. Actually, I have a scene for I have a quest button. Anyway, I'll do it for the level tiles first. Instead of name, you're gonna be level plus your level. Easy. Yeah, so at least those can get theirs back. Broken. Easy to fix. String. Like that. Okay. Okay, and I pause and go back. They keep them. Okay, and I go back. I need to set that, the growth. So now that I'm here, let's go check the remote. Let's go check the level tile. It has type 11. In the script variables, it has an open type. Level, button color. Where's this? Say this type is coming from the pawn GD. What type is this? But I'm never setting that. I'm never telling the grid to make it that type, except in only at one place. This is, I guess, what confuses me. Or rather, I guess like, these are fine. Script variables. Button color. And
Holy shit. Usually they like at South Korea they're kinda like flat.
Name, font size, button color. Type is being exposed by the pawn. Makes sense. But the type is not being shared upwards. I find that a little odd. I find that to be seriously odd. Level. Let's go to level this one. I do say to use type 11. I just set the default to open so that it doesn't work. And I saw some debugger stuff that I should pay attention to also. Oh, here we go. What are you guys talking about? Class name and declare but never used in script. Okay. And this is for the base button. Yep. I can fix that. Name and font size. Ignore. Well, let's continue. Alright. Okay. We're gonna reload. That fixes those errors. But I still have these guys that are loaded in, but are not. Let's see. Type 11. It's not being transferred down to the script variables, which again concerns me. Which kind of sort of concerns me. I'm gonna put back in this grow function. That was in continue. Let's go to the level tile. Let's put that back in. Let's see if it works now. Nope. Now it's now let's say let's print the screen. Let's see what this is. Shift G. And say this is at position 2, 2. Three, 2. What about over here? Did they get converted to walls? that's that's my only guess. I guess I'm gonna print out all the walls too. Grid. I just don't want any open squares. Oh, Control Z, all that. Yeah. So as long as it's not an open cell, print me those values. Yep, still can't hit it. So Shift P, Shift G. Yet again, still nothing. And say get pawn is not ignoring things. So what I'll do, I'll just come over here and I'll print oh god, should have been a string. This might print a lot. Or rather, it's only going to print for these guys, yeah. What the heck happened? Okay, it says they're all 11. I'm surprised it didn't grow to the left. Or like, what am I putting there? That I don't understand. Let's check out my grow pawn function. Very value. I guess I'm really confused. I'm gonna do another print function too. Or Control Z. In addition to this one, I'll do another loop right before it. And that just prints out the overall board. One more. There we go. Yes, shouldn't that be like this? Now that I'm reading it. Okay. For every row, actually, I'm just going to have it print a new line. So print a new line, and then print out all of them in that, and then print out a new line. So I can get like what the board looks like and what everything else looks like. Let's see if it comes out nice and neat on this one over here. Should be a bunch of zeros and ones. Controller, Shift G. It printed them all out like that. Okay. I forgot it was gonna do that. What other cool print statements can I get without a new line? Print raw. Print T. Yep, print raw, or now I get to play around. I'm gonna try print T. Let's see if that gives a new line. I might just have to print raw, honestly. I keep picking up the controller. I'm ready to play. Yep. Let's go ahead and print raw. You need the raw data without new lines. And then Shift G. Oof. It printed absolutely nothing. A little weird. Actually super weird. Let's go look at that. Weird way to print, but okay. So my next best thing, instead of printing like this, I'm gonna send it to a string. That I put up here. Var string. Cast this to a string. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna cast this to a string. And then see if that works. I just raw data. Give me some raw data. That's all I want to see. Shift G. nothing. And then all the... Okay. Or let me try it this way. Well, that does new lines. Like, I need to put it all on a string and then print it all on at once. There, var, column, row, it's a row. And I'll just concatenate it to the row. I think this works. One more. Okay. Guys, I had to look that up too. How do I concat string? Yep, do a bunch of things with strings. Hash, find, begins with, bigram, dedent, empty, ends with erase, find, get file hash, insert. Or they're gonna do a pushback really. Or am I think I'm gonna let Godot handle this one. It can change row to whatever it needs to. It's all you, Godot. You may have it. And then print row. Shift G. Broken. You don't even know what it is. Here, it's an array. Shift G. Oh my god. No. Oh, okay, then I can just, well, I thought it was gonna do that before. Like, clear the row. I'm making a new one. And then I don't need to do this, per se. I'll just print on an entire row. Come on. Why do I gotta do this way? And it's still printed out like a bajillion of them. Oh, because I'm like, I don't need to clear it. I just need to, after all of this, and I push back everything. It almost makes me want to just do a dictionary. Like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Trying to print out a two-dimensional array like I'm a crazy person. Want to create one? GD script more efficiently, absolutely. Man, I'm spending so much time just figuring out how to get my debug messages working correctly. But I'll get there. This is actually each column. Print out each column. And then before this, I'll make a bar called row. That's that, like that. And we'll push them back into column. Oh yeah, then before the for loop ends. So like right here, after the for loop is done, we'll push back the entire column. And then at the end of everything, we'll just print row. I swear I got it. This is gonna be it. This is how this is logically gonna work. I'm gonna store every. I feel like I'm storing a whole row and I'm printing out all the columns, but my names. As long as the names work and it gives me one nice looking array, we'll be good. And they got close. It definitely got close. So what if I instead I just print that column right here? Then I don't need the row. Just after gathering all the things in the column, print it. And then go back and finish the loop. Okay, Control G. Close enough. Not close enough. I swear, I'm almost gotten there. I like reversed it or something crazy. Or rather, it's like from here. let me just go to the level select. That's a very patterny one. There, let's go look at that. There's a bunch of zeros on the top. Okay, some of these tiles are exactly where they need to be. I see the flaw. I see the flaws. There. Okay, I'll just okay, I'll give it a little bit more time. I'll just go to the level select. I'll put a character right here, and then I'll print it out. And that way I know, because he's on the third row. Okay, yeah, I have it inverted, but it's saying there's 11, but he can't step on it. And it makes me think in my grid I haven't set anything up for that, but I definitely have. What if I pinned? Or maybe, is there an add front? Yeah, I can't really get this right now that I'm like actually doing it. Still wrong. Yeah, a pin does the same thing. It's an add front. push front. I don't think that's gonna do it either. Honestly, I need to reverse how I'm getting the columns and the rows. Let me get back there. I think I can actually just reverse it right here. Let's see if this prints out. Maybe this will give me something cool. And then I won't complain. I'll just shut up. Oh yeah, no add front. Let's go back to my favorite append. Yeah, that's not right either. X, Y. And for X. There, so it'll do the first column and then it'll go down the whole row and then it'll pin that. That's probably what I needed to do in the first place. Print statements. Magical shenanigans. There we go. Now I can read it. See, 2 is right there. 2 is right there. Can I get it in a prettier? Really, is like, can I get it in a prettier format to where like it always prints nicely? What if I say print T? I might just tab everything and it'll look weird. Or, yeah, I should have just done Shift G. But I think I know how I can do it. No, I don't know how I can do it, actually. Unless I store that number. V. If I... because I said int V instead of var V. Keep the tabs. I think I'm just doing too much. Yeah, I just want to put a nice 2D array. There we go, prettier print for arrays. It's closed, so this is like... This is closed a while ago, in 2006. They get close. And I guess I can kind of read it. I just don't like that it's not evenly spaced out. So my idea was just to loop through every value in it to do another loop. And for V in column, print T V. a madman to try to get some pretty good print. You know, Shift G. I am. I don't think this. I don't think this is print raw print zeros, which is the problem. Yeah, it just doesn't print zeros. It's an integer, a value. Shift G. Nope. Print. Or I was storing them in an array and it was just coming out uneven. Print raw was my next and best because it's the only thing that prints without, like, so I can do my own printing. Ugh. There has to be a better way as I spend an hour figuring out how to do cool print stuff. No. I think I'm getting closer. My functions are getting closer. So print raw, I wish you did better. The best way possible. You can't even print stuff. Print my numbers. That's a string thing, right? Let me go look at the int int variable. Oh god, what have I done? I didn't mean to open it up that way. Int, do you have just a do string method? Nope. Int. That's all I got. Really going crazy over printing. Just a new string, just some string shenanigans. ToString doesn't exist. And print raw doesn't, it prints it the best way possible, which is not print it at all. Let's say print without new line. There has to be a better way. There we go. Print raw prints and nothing. Concat it all before printing. Okay. So back to the cat idea. I don't know. I don't feel very happy about that. Control T. Control T. There we go. I would like some format strings. Cool. I'll have to come revisit that. That still doesn't solve my problem. At all. Or padding might. Trailing spaces. The character will cause padding to the right rather than the left. Useful for right text alignment. Boom. Okay, okay. Or rather, I need the left, I believe. Padding. The dot, the asterisk, minus sign, and digit characters used for padding. This allows putting several values aligned vertically as if the column provided fixed with font to pad a string to the minimum length. Add an integer to the specifier. So print d percent sign the thing. Percent minus 3. Let's try it out. So very much like a printf statement, except so use a comma percent sign or percent sign and then the value. Okay. Let's see what we get from this. This might break things. Shift G. Broken. Now arguments converted during string formatting. Okay, what if I convert this to a string? Okay. Make sure I'm using it right. D. Okay, I forgot the D. That's important for integers. It better be an integer. Let's try this again. Shift G. Nope. I will get this right. Or is it, did I use a dollar sign on accident? And it should have been a percent sign. That might have been the problem the whole time. Writing new code. Percent sign, percent sign. But it did help me catch some other stuff. I will, -3. I will get this right, I swear. But not like this. It's still printing a new line. I wonder if print raw doesn't do. Print raw prints to the console, but I'll remember that for when I'm out of this and printing the columns like before. Going all the way back. Because I can format this like this. -3. Sure, I think it's gonna be a string. Percent -3D. Okay. Or F. Or string, and then a percent sign, like that. Crossing fingers. Do you handle arrays nicely? You don't. So I'll convert this to a string beforehand. I saw them do it with the string before, or not at all. Or I could do C. C or D. Probably neither of those. Let's go. Shift G. Did we get close? We got closer. Like, we get closer, I think. Okay, let's try not negative. Let's just try 3. I will adjust this. I'm a perfectionist, I can't help it. And I would love to succeed on how to print a pretty array. Dope. Print array. Pretty array. I want it prettier. I want it prettier than this. You can use print var to string value to get nicer from your values. That's probably in there, even though it shouldn't be. Yeah, why is it still here? I don't know, but I'm gonna use it. Bad to say. Let's see what this looks like. Literally the same thing. Never messing it. I don't think we need to wireless string anymore. I think it's super deprecated. Or I mean, it says like if it's a string, can I begins with find empty format. It has some padding. Yeah. Okay, I've spent too much time on that. I know I've been super obsessive about it, but I think I'm done spending time on that. And I'll just print them as like this for now, and then ask if I can get it better later. Like to have them all evened out, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Like, what was I doing? Oh,
Good
I was
evening, Miss
leaving. I have an
Fanny.
hour
This
left.
is just your approximately 1 hour reminder that the school will be closing at midnight. the last, wait, there's no sooner than that. The school will be closing in an hour, thank you.
Yes, I have an hour left in school. And I really want to solve the problem that I'm having with my level select menus, where it looks like they're colliding at 11, but it doesn't seem to care. It just like moves on. It's weird because it works for other tiles and I'm using them a similar way, but it doesn't work for this tile. And all I'm doing is getting the type. And they say they extend from the pawn GD, but maybe the base, see, like maybe the base button needs to say type equals type or something like that. But I think that's a little weird. It's like it should just go straight up. Because and then like there's no need for me to define a new type because the type is 11, but when it grows, okay, I don't think it's a problem with it growing. I think it's a problem with how I'm handling it, honestly. Because the tile type is 11, I'll hit this right here, and we'll see if we even get inside of this. It's saying that there's no tile there, which I'll say technically is true, actually. Player has selected a level. Okay, you're right. There's technically no. Wait. There's no pawn there. I say, but why do the other ones work then? Well, it's because I'm not checking that. I'm not checking if there's an actual pawn on top. The pawn's definitely over here. I'm just checking that, like, it's the tile type. So I guess my question now is, do I even need to do that anymore? I don't need to check if the tile exists anymore. I just need to clear the board and emit the signal. Like, who cares if it's not there anymore? I think that was to fix what I had happening before. Oh, because I need to know what level to get. I see. And I don't know what level to get if I don't get the tile. I see. That's where my problem lies. The node is just not that big. I don't have it in 2 spots. So maybe I can make it grow by putting another one in that spot. Because I know where to place it. I find the target value. I can say if it's open, I can set that type there, and I can place another pawn there. Well, I can get the pawn that's at the start position, and instance it as a new child. Or I can find a way not to do that. Yeah. Okay, I see what my problem is. It's getting kind of late and I kind of want to stop. So, because I don't think there's really any other way behind me getting away from this unless I make another global variable that's like, hey, well, even then, I say if there's a globe, yeah, there's no good way to get around that. Honestly, I think I just need to put another pawn there and not have the level tiles grow, but well, rather have them grow. I can have them do both. Well, no, because then it'll put itself in a recursive loop. If I like instance it, it'll like grow to the left some more and some more and some more. So there's a tricky bug that I want to be able to solve, and I think that's what I'm gonna work on next time. I'm gonna give it a little bit of thought later, and it's like but I don't want to stop working on it. I want to feel confident about what I'm gonna work on next time. I may not code anything for the rest of this, but I am gonna sit here and think about how I want to solve that before I go at least. So I need to know what tile it is so I can set it down over there. I almost want to put an or statement, like or have an intermediary variable here in the grid that says the player wants to go to this level. Or I'm thinking that says like you try to step onto it. There's no tile there technically, no object there. See, but I do have the tile type. I just don't. I need the actual object to know what level to select to put there. I could secretly put it at the end of the. I say secretly, like this is C programming. Just secretly attach it to the end because it's just bits or it's just bytes or whatever, which would be pretty funny. But then I have to go back and define. Then I have to go back and define that level enum as something weird, which requires some bit manipulation, and I don't think I have the knowledge for doing that. Let's see, how else can I get? I mean, there's really no other way I can grab the level. Which may make me think that the levels should just be one block. Put the text on as one block because I don't foresee that I'll be able to solve this in a nice clean way. Because I need to know what tile that is. I feel like that's a limitation, sort of. Having them smaller is fine, and I think the text will still be readable. So that I can do quickly. I can do that. I can do that quickly, so I'm gonna try that out instead of growing them. I'm on the level tile. I just need to bump this. Oh, Control Z. bump the entire level tile in. Oh god. I thought snap was working. Well, I guess snap is working. Bring this whole texture in. Yeah. Like this, and then just wrap it on the label, honestly. Auto wrap. Clip text? No. Let me go change, like if I change this to 32, there. Or change it to like 24. Recenter it. That's not on the texture. Or 16. Recenter. Wraps the text inside the node bounding rectangle. If you resize the node, it changes height automatically to show all the text. Let's see what it looks like when I have like level 1 in there. Or I may need to do it that way, and then which I'm fine with, to be honest. Yeah, keep this is not working. Go to the script where I have the label. Yep, string new line. Okay, I can use escape characters. I wasn't exactly sure if I could or not. So we're gonna go see what that looks like now. That just gives me more space, honestly. Or it will give me new space. Or if I don't wrap it. Yeah. Let's not wrap those labels anymore. Let's turn that off. Or even better, it's just gonna be the number of the level, because I don't need to say that it is the level. Everyone should know, or everyone will know if they selected that menu. There we go, and I'm just gonna change the size of that font because that is small. I'm going to check the last level, font size 24, 32, there, checking on 12. I've definitely been putting my work in on this game. I'm excited to see like where it really leads me. Those are pretty big numbers that we can make even bigger. Let's go for 40. I'm actually surprised that I think it changed the font of all of them. All of them. I don't know why it did that, but I can definitely tell that all of them are growing. And I only changed one. Or, yeah, I only changed one. So that's another bug. Or, I guess it's like last one wins, it looks like. So like if I change this back to 24, and I changed 11 to 40, 24 would still stay the same. Or we'll be drastic about it so I can see the change. We'll change this to 12. Because that was, I saw that wasn't sly at all. Yeah, they got really small, and so did 12. They all like took on the same one. Let's rerun that and see if I'm like, am I messing something up with these level selects? Absolutely, they're no longer aligned. And you know why? Because I did that. So they don't need any alignment, I don't believe. I'm going to check that on this number 11. I'm going to change this offset to 0. Change this. Yeah. I think all of them can go to 0. Alright. Let's see if that puts them in the right place. I might need to double the offset, but we'll see. I'm not really liking this last one wins on these at all. So 24. I definitely need to do some more work when it comes to loading in these buttons for sure. 32. I'll change this back to 32. Or 48, sure, whatever. Offset this one. Yeah, I'm not really liking this last one wins type deal that I have going on. Oh, I saw I was unable to read something in. Nope, that wasn't it. It was the other way around. 32, 32. Okay. And see, now they need to have the same offset like the players may have. Players don't have an offset that the other buttons may have. Okay. $32.32. Yeah. Yep, that's right. I just gotta do. I got a ton of bugs to fix. Now that I'm seeing them, oh man, keeping track of them. Okay, bug. Huh? I'll write down these last 2 bugs, and I have to. I want to go to bed. It's late. I only got 30 minutes left to get out of here. Or I have 30 minutes left to fix some of this, which I can do. I can do that. font size is being weird. Or you know what? That's probably because I'm doing it in the base button and not for each individual button. The base button really shouldn't be like doing anything. 32. Like some of these are just quick bugs like to fix. I just had to spend a little bit of time thinking about it. 32. Like how my code is, like how things are being instanced really, like okay, player. So I fixed that. To fix the other thing we were talking about in the base button, well, the base button isn't doing anything. It's not doing anything with the font at all anymore. It's the level. The level is setting the font size. So let's change another one to 48. Let's change the second one to 48 also, and see if like are all of them gonna follow suit, or like what's going on here. These are some weird bugs. I fixed the offset, which is good. But now the offset for the rest are just garbage. Or 2 got fixed when I put it to 42. Why are the rest like that? Here's a quick fix to that. I'll just make them all 48. I think, or I'll definitely write that one. I'll definitely write this bug down, because when this is a quick fix for it, absolutely. I'm gonna first start writing issues. There, first bug. Write issues in GitHub. Cause I could be tracking my bugs, and I'm not. I could actually spend some work on that. Actually, I would like to spend some work on that. Because bugs just happen all over the place. Issue tracker. First bug. I need to do an issue tracker. GitHub. Ooh. There. That's gonna fit. Yeah, that fixed all those. So that's one thing. Another thing is just when the level buttons have different font sizes. Last one used. It needs to be in. Yeah. There's that. There's another issue, which is I guess a bigger issue overall. See, you cannot access variables on tiles that have grown. Because node only exists in one location, and grow tile only modifies the grid. I think I know where it gets all that. I just thought about it, honestly. I could have the level tile just kind of take up that spot also. Well, see, I can have it take up that spot, but I also have to, yeah, I can just have the pawn take up that spot also, honestly, to be honest. Or I can think of, yeah. This works fine. This works fine for now. I got a bunch of bugs to solve. Ooh. I wasn't able to add the rest of the 12 levels, but you know what? I'll try to get to that next time. I'm gonna spend some time on my GitHub putting in these issues and other issues I've seen throughout the days. So thank you for those who are still watching. I appreciate all the support from the people who do get the snippets that I do from this challenge, and I hope you have a good night.